Chavales, sabemos videazo. Nuestro pequeño colegón Arrow CS2, tenéis su canal en la descripción. Muy buen creador de contenido de Counter, de lo mejor que tenemos. Really good CSGO content creator. Is in the top 3 of creator contendientes. Por si ve el vídeo que vea que, bro, hemos tenido el detalle, ¿no? No, de verdad, canal muy top. Tiene vídeos muy tops. El mayor gasto de dinero en Counter Strike History. El mayor gasto de dinero en la historia de Counter Strike. Vamos. Antes de seguir con el vídeo, chicos, este vídeo está sponsorizado por K-Drop, una página donde podrás abrir cajas de todos los tipos, hacer batallas con amigos, gradear a la skin de tus sueños o retirar las skins que más te gusten. Así que si queréis probar la página, ya sabéis que si usáis el código tarifa os darán un 10% extra de depósito. Podréis participar en los sorteos del calendario de mayo. Y sí, para el que no lo sepa, como veis, este mes tenemos sorteos diarios. Todos los días a las 9 hora española tenéis un sorteo de mínimo 1000 pavos, en el que, bueno, pues si habéis depositado los últimos 14 días con mi código, podréis participar. A ver, es muy cinematográfico, es un poco Oppenheimer esto. Dice que lleva meses sin dormir. Esta investigación le ha comido.
Everywhere I look, I see the skins that I love being treated like trash. Criminals have been getting away with destroying millions of dollars worth of skins right in front of everyone's eyes. And now, I'm the only one left that's willing to hunt them down.
Básicamente va a buscar a los hijos de puta que más dinero han gastado y que más han no valorado las skins.
To find the criminal who's wasted
qué guapo,
or rather murdered the most Counter-Strike skins. And after all of my investigating, all the clues kept bringing me back to one guy.
Luna. No.
This whole investigation started 5 months ago. The first criminal...
Vale, hace 5 meses empezó y encontró el primer criminal, les llama criminales, es lo mínimo. A los vendedores estos de skins. Oh my god, sí, esto está en el top tier. A ver, esto es top 10, pero tampoco es tan malo, ¿eh? Porque esto no es pérdida de dinero. El tío que pegó esa pegata, pues tenía 25 céntimos, abrió una cápsula, le salió esa pegatina y no tenía ninguna skin porque gastó 25 céntimos. ¿Qué hizo? La pegó en un arma normal. Claro, pegó 25 céntimos. No es tampoco... A ver, es duro, ¿eh? Es duro porque llega a tener una skin de 1 céntimo, que en la época había 1 trillón, o sea, 3 céntimos en Steam. Llega a pillar una de 1 céntimo, o sea, 3 céntimos, perdón. Y ya le aguanta valor.
In every Counter-Strike inventory, even if you don't have skins, you can still apply stickers on.
También te digo, es que Valve no debería hacer eso.
You'll never be able to sell or trade these skins. And there's a good amount of criminals who have purposefully destroyed stickers by applying them onto default skins. Let's take Thirst, for example, who willingly applied crown foils onto all of his...
¡Oh! ¿Qué dices? No me lo creo, bro. Este tío no sabía eso.
That would have cost him $900 in 2014, but would be worth $32,000 if he decided to keep them unapplied. You could...
Bro, que se gastó 900 pavos en 2014 aún así, que está enfermo.
With other cheap skins, like this Deagle Mutter. This is $150,000 worth of stickers applied onto a skin that heavily devalues them. The only
Sí, pero aún así, bro, es mejor que no tener nada.
difference is, at least you can still sell the skin and get some of the sticker value back.
Sí.
Especially because these Cato 2014 holos are some of the most desired and expensive stickers in the game. And there's actually quite a few of them applied onto default skins. To find out exactly how many stickers have been wasted, I searched through all databases to find every
va a encontrar cada pedazo de mugrote
sticker that's ever been applied.
Es que de verdad la gente de Counter es muy hija de puta, tío. Somos una comunidad de enfermos.
Holo stickers applied onto skins. But if we
¿Cuántas?
And in total there are 78,969
78.000 stickers,
Cato Holo stickers applied onto skins.
En pegatas. O sea, en skins de mierda.
For default crafts, we find that iBuyPower holos were applied 76 times while they were just a few dollars, now being worth over $60,000 each. And then we also have the Reason Holo and Titan Holo, which were both applied even more frequently. If we were to add up their total value in today's market, it's easily $13 million for these 3 stickers applied onto untradeable skins.
Qué locura si lo ves así, eh. Si la gente hubiese dicho, bro, la dejo. O sea, no me gusta la pegata, pero para pegarla y que me guste menos, la dejo. Habría 13 millones más de dólares en el mercado. Solo con las skins estas, eh.
Put this at the bottom of the list. Even though some criminals single single-handedly applied 200.
Me hace gracia que lo llame criminal. Es que esto es de criminal. Es que esto es de criminal. O sea, esto no tiene nombre. También te digo, compraría la cuenta de ese tío, ¿eh? Tú sabes lo que es ir a Banana y sacar un AVP. O sea, un AVP de Fault con 4 Titan Holo. Es un flexeo que muy poca gente puede hacer, ¿eh?
In the long run, they haven't lost or
RIP 15k, se pone RIP 15k. Sí, sí. Toma.
destroyed anything. In fact, they're still able to use a unique
A ver, está
piece
guapísima.
of history. Our next criminals were actually deleting a decent amount of money while they were committing their crime.
But first, let me tell you about a site I found during my investigation.
Vale, esto es una promo, ¿vale? Que no está mal, es su promoción. Si queréis ver el vídeo tenéis la promo y la veis.
In the beginning of Counter-Strike, there used to be a delete item button for every...
¡Oh! Al inicio de Counter podías borrar ítems.
single
No me lo...
skin.
A ver, tiene sentido porque era un brother. ¿Qué hago con 200 skins azules? ¿Tengo que hacer algo? Pues le das a delete y ya está.
in the game. This even included the ability to delete knives for some reason, and a lot of people would accidentally click this button. But then there was another group of people
Hostia, bro, es que eso toca la polla, ¿eh? Tú imagínate, querer inspeccionar y das a delete y pierdes tu cuchillo.
who would purposefully delete their knives because, well, I don't actually know why. For example, this criminal named Mindy filmed himself killing a perfectly innocent knife.
Fucking bitches.
These hooligans would then instantly write a support ticket asking to get their knives back, and when they eventually did, they would immediately delete them again. Due to the player base being
Bro, ese tío, ¿ves? Pop, comunidad de Counter.
too
tío.
stupid,
Ese es el
Valve
tipo de gente.
eventually removed this button for all items, but left it around for stickers, which inspired a small group of psychopaths that got off by destroying Counter-Strike history. A gang that went by the
Dios, vamos a hablar del tema que no se puede hablar.
name of Cattle Killers. They made it their personal mission to scrape as many expensive stickers on skins as possible, ranging anywhere from skins with just 1 Cattle Hollow to skins with 4 of them, with hundreds of people rallying together to destroy as much history as they could, with the most expensive sacrifice being this AK black laminate that was worth $2,000. And in total, I found that about $30,000 worth of stickers were needlessly killed by the gang. But the gang members weren't the only sticker killers. These two participated
Pensaba que íbamos a hablar de otro tema.
in acts of involuntary manslaughter,
Vale, esa gente que quería borrar catos, pero bueno, que son tiesos, han borrado 12k de catos.
meaning both of them claim it was accidental, but I'm not 100% sure about that. I suspect that there could have been some ulterior motives at play, but I'll
Es
let
que es buen creador el cabrón.
you
¿eh?
come to your own conclusion. This is Lee Bai Bai. She's a popular Chinese streamer who knows her fair share about skins, and she even has an expensive inventory of her own. But in some streams, some of her rich viewers would send her some skins to show off, including items like the StatTrak Factory New Howl with 2 Titan Papers and 2 Titan Hollows, owned by a Chinese millionaire who goes by the name Boss Man. He wanted to clear off the cheap paper stickers to make room for another craft, and asked Lee Bai Bai to scrape them. She got the first one off fine,
Los
but
fucking Sims, tío.
then while scraping off the second one, she misclicked and scraped one of the hollows. A very expensive mistake. She
Alucinas.
genuinely did seem sorry at the time, and most likely it was an accident since the buttons are right next to each other. But as a detective, this does make me suspicious. With this much money on the line, usually you would be extremely careful,
Eso es verdad, ¿eh?
especially when it's not even yours. Afterwards, Bossman was furious, but ultimately ended up gifting her the skin since he no longer wanted it. So she did benefit off of getting a $20,000 skin for free, but just had to delete a little bit of history. Similarly,
¡Mira, qué locura! Qué locura, bro. Qué locura. Ojalá tener Sims. ¿Alguno quiere ser mi Sim? Por favor, tío. Quiero una Whole Factory no StatTrak. El que me la dé, no hago nada. Pero te mando... No hago nada. Pero te mando un saludo, otaku. Con escote.
a streamer who accidentally destroyed Titan
Bro, qué locura. Que le han regalado una Whole... Pero su puta cara... Es que lo dijo... No sé si mi abuela o mi abuelo. La gente guapa tiene la vida resuelta, tío. Y eso es un facto. Es duro, pero es un facto, tío. En este mundo es así. Alucinas.
A collector named Error was borrowing this USP stainless with 4 Titan Hollow stickers applied
Qué
onto
petardo,
it.
bro.
And while
4. Es que me cago en San...
spamming low-tier trade-ups just to clear the inventory, he accidentally put in USP
No me lo
and
puedo creer,
clicked
que está ahí dentro, que
confirm,
está ahí dentro.
instantly deleting a skin which is now worth $80,000. Easily the worst trade up of all time.
80k,
And he
bro. 80k al verde. O sea, 80k rojo, verde, rojo. 600k. Te compras un McLaren 765 y con lo que te sobra lo metes a Keydrop y lo instapalmas todo. Pero qué
really
locura,
didn't
80k es esa pipilla,
benefit from this, apart from being in McSkillet's last YouTube video.
Oh.
And although I'm likely just digging way too deep into accidents, I just find it way too hard to believe that
O sea, esto es un top. O sea, vamos a ver las cosas más gores todavía.
so much about skins could be so stupid. But fortunately for them, there's another Chinese collector who overshadows everything else that I've investigated so far. Our final and worst criminal of them all, QKSS. A skin serial killer who was responsible for killing $10 million worth of skins.
¿Cómo?
It all started with Q wanting to build the best inventory in the history of Counter-Strike. He had the time, money, and connections to get any skin he wanted, but made some questionable and outright idiotic decisions along the
El guiño, de 661 la contraseña.
way. Every skin that would eventually enter his inventory wouldn't see the light of day ever again. In just 2 years, he got his hands on some of the most
Bro, qué
absolutely
locura, bro.
mind-blowing
Qué
skins
locura.
in the game. He kidnapped over 200 skins to stockpile his inventory, including, just to name a few,
Lo,
a
cómo van de
$100,000 Karambit, the most expensive P250,
¿Cuánto?
just to name a few, a $100,000 Karambit, the most
Fincas tú.
expensive P250, M4A1S, Bison, M4A4,
¿Habéis visto el juego?
USP, Deagle, Sawed-Off, Nova, and at the time, the most expensive AK. This being by far the rarest skin he abducted over his spree, and nowadays is worth over $500,000.
661 con 4 titanos. Con stat track. Minimal wear, no me lo puedo creer.
Take far too long to exhibit every skin, knife, glove, and unapplied sticker he had managed to stockpile, but it's safe to say he had achieved his goal of constructing the most expensive inventory in the history of Counter-Strike. Yet still, he wasn't done. In the middle of 2018, at the peak of Q's collecting, another millionaire named Spook joined the scene to try and compete with him. Spook had quickly acquired a pretty nice collection, nice enough to get onto Q's radar. Spook started buying up many exact copies of skins that QKSS already owned, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars just to be even slightly close to what his idol had managed to assemble. They would both start buying up all the high-tier items that they could find,
qué
trying to
locura,
one-up
bro.
each other. They mostly prioritized high-end sticker crafts, but when they couldn't find anyone selling them, they started applying the stickers themselves.
No,
And then, during the very
brother!
peak of their battle, Spook, out of the blue, got vac banned. Seeing as though he had
¿Cómo?
of their battle, Spook buying the stickers themselves. And then, during the very peak of their battle, Spook, out of the blue,
Uy, esto es raro,
got vac banned.
Esto es raro.
Seeing as though he had alternate accounts with no
LOL. En alguna cuenta secundaria pondría hacks y le banearon todas.
skins on them, the leading theory is that he was cheating and got caught. In just 6 months, Spook had managed one of the best Counter-Strike inventories of all time. Then, due to his own stupidity, permanently destroyed an inventory which would now be worth $1 million. This meant that Q was now in the clear to maintain having the best inventory in the history of Counter-Strike.
Lo que se supone que es el mejor inventario de la historia ahora mismo.
And Spook had at least one at having the most expensive banned inventory of all time. Well, at least for the next 24 hours. See, in China, it's fairly common to lend out your inventory to other people. Though nowadays,
Eso es
you'll
verdad, tío. Presta mucho en China,
mostly just see them lending out skins to pros, and for a good reason. QKSS was letting a streamer named Knight borrow his account for
guapa
a
la
while
foto,
to play with his skins. Unfortunately, Knight was using cheats while on the account and wiped out Q's last 2 years of work. In one fell swoop, Q's inventory was burnt to a crisp, instantly deleting $4 million worth of
4
skins.
millones al carré.
Completely unshaken by what he had gone through, Q made a new account and started over. He still wanted to own the most expensive inventory.
Mira, pero ¿qué es esto? Mira qué locura. ¡Qué
After
locura!
destroying most of the high-tier skin market, this time around it would cost Q way more to start collecting. That wouldn't matter to him though. Within
Pero estos son criptomillonarios
no
100%.
time, Q was back to buying the best skins in the game. Just to name a few, he bought one of the lowest float op dragon lures in the game
Diablo.
with 4 iBuyPower hollow stickers.
¡Hostia!
Also an op Medusa with 4 Titan stickers that
No sé qué me gusta más, creo que la medusa, con las
perfectly
Titan.
matched his M4A4 Emperor
Esto es una
and
mierda.
Poseidon, which is still a one-of-one craft. He then bought an Asimov collection and an anime collection, along with the most expensive MP7, UMP, and finally a Tech 9 fuel injector with 4 resin
qué
hollows.
locura.
In total, the skins he collected on his new account are now worth $2 million, but he also collected unapplied stickers, including 4 Clan Mystics, 9 Voxes, 8 LDLCs, and 16 resin hollow stickers.
Es mucho, que las Reasons son las que más han
In
subido
total,
en el último año.
In less than a year, Q was able to reclaim the throne, having the most expensive inventory in Counter-Strike after starting from nothing. Once his collection was finally completed, he became a recluse, knowing this would be the only way to keep his skins safe. QKSS was finally able to relax. That is, until he had a new opponent.
No,
In
pero no.
2021, rogue Russian Steam support agents started stealing Steam accounts with expensive inventories. And they would purposefully target inactive Steam accounts so the target wouldn't even know that they were hacked until it was too late. The method was simple. A rogue Steam support agent would collect all of the victim's information from Valve's databases. His friend would then pretend to be the account owner trying to recover their Steam and would have all the information that they needed. Their email, phone number, and even credit cards. QKSS had coincidentally just gone completely inactive on his new account, probably assuming that it would have been the safest way to keep his account secure. Unfortunately for Q, the largest hacking wave in the history of Counter-Strike, which directly relied...
hackearon a este por tener la cuenta literalmente parada y hacerlo de que has perdido la cuenta y como llevas tanto tiempo sin iniciar sesión, te ponen el típico formulario ese y con que tenga la info de nombre, mail, tal, como tenga suerte le puede hacerse pasar por él, ¿sabes?
...being AFK had just begun. In almost no time at all, the hackers were able to get all the information that they needed to convince Steam support that they were the real QKS.
Exacto, ¿ves? Tenían toda la información necesaria para convencerles de que ellos eran los reales.
They would need to wait 15 days to remove two-factor authenticator from Q's phone and finally be able to trade away his skin.
Y ni se enteró.
All Q needed to do was just hop on his computer one time to notice
ni
that
se
something was
enteró,
wrong.
bro,
In
qué
what probably
locura.
felt like a lifetime to the hackers, hoping that Q wouldn't try logging into his Steam account, all they could do at this point was...
Qué locura, bro, que tuvo 15 días y como el otro ni se conectó, pudieron robarlo, tú. Mira que le avisarían al mail y todo, Es que son 2 semanas,
The trade ban was finally lifted and they had successfully pulled off the largest heist in Counter-Strike history. And now the hackers just had to figure out a way to cash out everything they stole. They ended up sending the stolen skins to 7 different alt accounts. Then they deleted Q's main account, so Valve would have a much harder time trying to track them down. They finally had Q's whole inventory in their possession. Now they just had to wait one more
Pero esto lo recuperaron, ¿no?
week for the trade ban on those skins to go away. It was the perfect crime, and it seemed as though they had gotten away with it. Except for the fact that every single skin ended up getting registered on skin databases, meaning that the criminals, who had been extremely careful so far, accidentally revealed exactly where the skins were being hidden.
Hombre, claro, es que les van a pillar, bro. Es que puto
Which
retrasados.
easily could have been avoided just by putting these
Sí, literal, si no hubiesen inspeccionado su inventario no saben dónde está la skin.
After waiting nearly a month, moments away from millions, they made one small mistake. Now, as far as I see it, Q must have alerted Steam, as no one else knew that he had even been hacked. And at this point, there was no account for the skins to be sent back to. So instead of having to watch his items be sold off to other collectors, Q reported the accounts to Valve, knowing full well that the skins were gone. He'd rather that the skins be banned forever in the hackers' inventories.
Bro, si esto no se lo devolvieron, chungo, tener pasta en Counter.
So then that begs the question. Will the fire in Q's stomach convince him to come back and reclaim his throne of having the most expensive inventory? Or maybe he's already back and learning from his past mistakes of being too public. There is also a chance that Valve made an exception this one time out of sympathy for what Q had gone through. The good Steam support agents might have told him to create another account and moved all of those banned stolen skins onto it. But since all the evidence is now deleted, we'll never know for sure. Unless Q comes back once again to let everyone know he's not done.
O sea, no se lo han devuelto todavía. Pero, ¿qué dices? A ver, yo creo que se lo devolverán. Es que cuando suelen haber hackeos así de gordos suelen devolverlo. Pero bueno, ya sabéis que son lentos de la hostia. Pero tiene sentido que se crea una cuenta nueva y si es capaz de demostrar que es él, es que esa es la putada, porque le borraron la cuenta, bro. Pero si es capaz de demostrar que es él, Valve puede hacer así y le devuelve las skins. Lo malo, la de gente que intentará hacerse pasar por él. Alucina. En fin, chavales, muy buen vídeo. Mi mayor waste of money han sido contratos, la verdad. Es que lo de que la gente que viene a Counter mete 5 millones de pavos en skins y no vuelve a conectarse nunca, las deje parada, me huele un poco a blanqueo o algo raro. Y es que si le suda la polla, bro, es que es el doble fácil que le roben. Claro, si es que te suda la polla, bro, no hay nadie vigilando. En fin, chavales, espero os haya gustado el vídeo, gracias por el apoyo y nos vemos en el próximo.